Can you see my screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can do it right. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll be sharing, the different work that we've been doing at the ground. But because the Women's Days are also coming, so I'll also be focusing on, the different work that Feel Ready uh, will be, is planning to do for empowering women here as well. So, uh, as I've said, like today I'm here to speak on Field Ready's approach to building community by enabling um, and embracing technologies and working in partnership with local communities. And this would be in perspective of work that Field Ready is doing to support empower women in Nepal. So before I talk about more about this, I would like to start with a really brief introduction to Field Ready, and I'll be talking briefly about the different projects that that we have worked on, and of course after that I would like to highlight women and their engagement with us. So Field Ready meets humanitarian needs around the world by transforming logistics through technology, design, engaging people in new ways. It does that by using design thinking, human centered design, and industry based practices. So Field Ready designs and makes useful items to solve problems locally in different sectors, including reconstruction, sanitation, health, wash, education, etc. And we use the latest digital manufacturing technologies such as CNCs, 3D printers, lasers, etc. And once there's a solution, if once a solution is figured, Field Ready then passes those technologies. The solutions and also the skills to others through means of training or even pioneering innovative approaches to the challenges. Now, the impact of this is that there is this dramatically improved efficiency in aid delivery by, cutting procurement cost, increasing local capacity to respond, designing innovative solutions to problems, and also like helping organizational partners to quickly meet humanitarian needs. So, Feel Ready is well started working in Nepal after the 2015 earthquake, and since then, as you can also see it on the screen, it has worked in various sectors such as 3D printers, hydroponics, rescue technologies, educations, etc. And now, I would like to share a few of the projects, well, briefly that we have worked on in Nepal, and some of us might also be quite familiar with few of these projects. Now, during its starting years, Feel Ready had developed health items, which has also been used in IDP camps. The pictures that you see on the screen, on your left, these are all the various products that's been been developed. These are the spares and repairs for medical items that's been that has been made using 3D printers and basic electronics, and it could be helpful at times of emergencies. The other project was the 3D printing sector. There was a project called 3D printing sector development with DFID. So in that, we also mapped out different organizations using different digital manufacturing equipments. Um, so this one is a beautiful story which we already was a part of. People in rural Nepal, in rural areas of Nepal, we still burn firewood to cook food. But if the combustion is not so good, there's plenty of smoke, which is like really bad for the health. So the guy you see in the center of this slide, he's Madhukar Kisi. So he had designed an improved cook stove using an air supply disc, which has proven to be efficient. But initially, he had problems developing a prototype because of its complex design. You can also see it on the screen. You know, there's this disc which has got like plenty of holes. So it was quite a complex design. So that is where where Feel Ready helped him develop a prototype. So he then had it manufactured, and now it's being used in like thousands of houses. If we think about it, one 3D print has been translated into like hundreds and thousands of air supply disc, which is like being used in many parts of the country, and which is also helping reduce the intensity of the lung disease as well. Um, Moving on, there are projects such as hydroponics, where we focused on locally made, low-cost hydroponic systems as a focal point to STEM education, learning, and also to boost nutrition among the students. These systems were made in four different schools. Similarly, like after that, then when COVID-19 pandemic started spreading, for prevention, our first specific product in response to the pandemic was a hands-free elbow-operated tab, which can be used by user's elbow, and the same product can also be used as a door handle, right? So. This one is another project that we had, which was around enthusiast and was a project initiated to provide, knowledge and practical experiences in digital manufacturing, 3D designing, and rapid prototyping to makers, innovators, engineers, and different user groups from Nepal. And this project was called Humanitarian Design Challenge. Um, and we had conducted around 11 demo workshops throughout Nepal and had around 559 participants, among which like 86.2% were male. That means we just had 77 female out of like 559. So the demos were conducted in all technical schools from different parts of Nepal, and this, the difference, the number was something we were looking forward to change. We really wanted to increase female participation here. So, right after the workshops, we also had a design sprint, and where an interdisciplinary team came along, and we wanted at least like 50% female participation. But we had a female participation of like 71.4%. And how would you feel if you were if you are getting more than you're expecting? So yeah, it felt amazing. And throughout the workshops, participants were introduced to the possibilities of using digital fabrication and solving problems using human-centered design, and discovered like how helpful various open source platforms could be. So, after the completion of all these, successful projects over the years, we have recently opened our first Fab Lab here in Nepal, along with Nepal Community, which is also the first humanitarian Fab Lab, and we really want this, lab to be accessible to all the people. And we also had our first, soft opening exactly 2 weeks ago. So here's a few glimpses of the launch day, where we started with a small ritual, a small puja, followed by a small semi formal program, and it was a good start. To give you all a brief background, in Nepal, entrepreneurs and innovators we work with face like immense challenge due to lack of trained and skilled design staff, and little or no access to equipment or for product design, development, rapid prototyping, and things like that. So they are required to go to either India or China for those kind of designing services. And digital fabrication can help in enhancing the quality of the Nepal made products and make it globally competitive as well. So having a fabrication lab as such has been brought to digital fabrication technologies to Nepal will strengthen product design and development for the entrepreneurs, engineers, skilled workers, students. There would be another other many groups, private sectors. There could be migrants, and of course, like women from various backgrounds. Right. So this equipped Nepal Fab Lab will fill a critical gap for emerging sectors in Nepal, such as manufacturing, agriculture, and many, many more. And having this could have a potential impact on the community itself. So, while we were doing this humanitarian design challenge, a project that I mentioned in the earlier slide, we saw this appetite and hunger among these young enthusiasts to learn, and having this kind of energy around is essential and amazing at the same time. So now with the opening of the Fab Lab, having access to these kind of technology would mean access to more practical engineering skills, or let's say practical skills and knowledges. So this is how we are targeting to reach out from Fab Lab, to provide access to knowledge, to access to tools and resources that brings ideas from heads to hands, and basically empowering the people of Nepal in regardless of their gender, their social status, ability, or even economic needs. So, here's an example that I would like to show. She's Shanti Maharjan, and she's from Nepal Community. So, Nepal Community, as I've said, like, is our key partner, and both Field Ready and Fab Lab Nepal here, where we are based at NC. So, Shanti Didi not only, actually looks after the space, but also cooks delicious food and feeds us, and also takes, really good care of us. But I got to know about her interest and love for sewing while I was unboxing this sewing and embroidery machine. Well, because of the pandemic, MIT has been helping us set up the Fab Lab remotely, and we schedule, the sessions with MIT for different machines. And I was quite amused when Shanti Didi showed up to attend an embroidery session with me. So she in fact made the first embroidery from the inbuilt designs, and as you can also see it on the slide, and as and also made this customized mask with people's initials for all the guests who were invited at the launch. So for me, it was a moment of pure joy, because this makes me feel like how much people are hungry for these kind of platforms and opportunities, and I really can't wait to see find these kind of happy faces. So as more people in Nepal are into sewing and embroideries, um, these machines are a hit here, and we are really looking forward to engaging more women, training them, and as well as learning from them. So yeah. um, Moving forward, this project is a recent one which was like completed last week. This project is called Tiny Shop, which means Sano Pasal in Nepali. Is a joint project between Field Ready and Space A, our partner organization. So Sano Pasal is a community-based initiative that has been designed to support and engage, local women-led micro enterprises in Nepal. So the goal of the project is to enable creative and artistic collaboration between the makers, creators, and the female entrepreneurs. So yeah, so she's Reshma Lama. She's a 24 years old young entrepreneur from Nepal who owns, a food cart, and which is which is actually the only source of income for her whole family. She earns around like 2,000 rupees on normal days, when on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, when she runs her cart for like all night, and she earns around 500 to 1,000 rupees on normal days when she's open from like 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And Field Ready and Space A had designed this project in such a way that it would enable and empower women-led micro businesses who have been hit hard due to the pandemic. And that would have been done by providing them with a design solution, basically a design solution to the cart. So this was Rishma's cart before. She used it, she used to run it every day of the week. And Spacey, our partner for this tiny shop project, spoke with her, convinced her to, let us do some modifications on the cart, and she would also be compensated for those days. So we then refurbished, her Tela cart. Most of the work was done inside Fab Lab Nepal. All the pictures that you see, it's a makerspace inside Fab Lab Nepal. So most of it was done inside the makerspace, except for like few final touch-ups. So we were really hoping, that we really hoped for Rishma, our micro entrepreneur, to get benefited from, from the platform of Fab Lab Nepal. So this is the final design of the card after the completion of the card, and it was delivered to Rishma's house on her first day. After the refurbishment, she had earned around like 9,000 rupees, which is amazing, because initially before this modification, she used to earn like 2,000 rupees. From two to getting up to 9,000, is like makes a lot of difference. It's like 4 to 5 times. So she was really happy. And this was actually a pilot project which was based on human-centered design. So what we've seen is like Sanopasal, or let's say Tiny Shop, not just have this potential to empower small businesses, but also to help artists, engineers to express and experiment their ideas, as well as earn recognitions. And it's amazing to see like how much this potential small changes has as as such can bring to not just one's life, but also to their whole family. And this example of women micro entrepreneur like Reshma getting benefited from Fab Lab also shows that how much potential these labs has. Now, looking at the tiny shop project, there are other various aspects of engaging women in Fab Lab. So there are female entrepreneurs who could use, maybe the moldings for like jewelry or soft molds. There are designers and artists who are interested in vinyls, who are hoping to engage. We are really hoping to engage with them a lot more closely. And yeah, so finally, I would like to say that this equipped Fab Lab has a potential and will, fill a critical gap for the development sector around health, education, environment, as well as many other emerging sectors in Nepal, such as like, packaging, designing, manufacturing. So the uses of these technologies could help, livelihood at different levels. So in the future, there would be, more practicals. And well, Fab Lab has this potential to also bridge and also, to reduce the divide between male and female. So in fact, there is more opportunity for females with like capacity building and skill developments. So yes, we've got ambitions for for Fab Lab. We want to partner with training or centers which would like provide certificates. We want to partner with different organizations who are like focusing on female entrepreneurs for like enhancing the skills and also engaging with different people, different communities in like new ways. So yeah, and these efforts would lead to incorporation into the humanitarian sector. Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much, Pradita. That was a brilliant presentation and amazing to hear the stories that they had to share. And thanks so much for focusing